What's up, stars? It's your girl, Ivory Star, your favorite back alley astrologer, with this week's Ratchet Astrology forecast. Yeah, it's new moon week, so we gonna really get into it, dive in deep, because we really want to manifest some good shit, okay? We really want to talk about where we are. We need to do some self-evaluating and, really get our shit in order, and this is a good time to do it. We got a lot of planets hanging out in the sign of Aquarius, and we got a lot of different planetary actions that can support us being lucky in our endeavors. So, let's get serious about it. Let's really talk about it. And before we get into it, I would like to have a moment of silence and pay homage to one of my mentors and mentors of my soul community and group here in the city that I live in. Her name was Tamika Gray L. She was a very educated, a very healing, a very peaceful, a very caring woman who was really concerned about the health care of women, people in general, but really just taking care of women, especially women of color and women who were into, natural and holistic healing. She was a Reiki healer. There was a lot of other things that she practiced that really just helped transition women into a better place spiritually as well as with their health. So we are going to have a moment of silence for her real quick. Just gone too soon. And now we are going to get into this forecast because there are some beautiful things going on in the planetary action that's really going to support us and to really help us manifest some real good shit into our lives. You know what I'm saying? So before I did my forecast, I always do like a tarot pull just to get into the flow and the energy, of what it is that spirit may want to say, or what messages my ancestors might have for me, what some messages maybe your ancestors might have for you through the planetary action, because we know that the stars, that's the most ancient system of being able to tell time, communicate, and do all the other things. So that's why I really love astrology, if I haven't told y'all already. But for my card pull, I pulled the Two of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Six of Wands. And just to all sum that up in all one fell swoop, it's time to manifest. There's some good things going on. Two of Cups, card of partnership. You see the two people toasting with something going on in the middle, like some spiritual shit or something going on in the middle when you look at the original tarot card. The Ace of Swords, that's the card of new ideas, new fresh ideas, really pushing that shit forth. And this is the new moon. So that's telling me that this is now is the time for you to manifest. If you got a new idea, you got a new stream of income that you're trying to open up, now is the time. And that Six of Wands is the card of success and being recognized for it. The man on the horse waving at all his fans, you know what I'm saying? That's what I see when I see that card. So, this is a good time for us to manifest. So let's get into the forecast of it all. Hours after the planet Venus gets ready to enter Aquarius. And what is Venus the planet of? The planet of love, beauty, art, creativity, and all those nice things. It's going to enter the new moon, and new moon is what we use for our fresh start. So Venus is also going to be in conjunction with Jupiter. So this is all going to create a great climate for you to manifest good luck, love, money, and success, and good karma. See, karma plays a big part into the things that we receive back from the universe, because especially during retrograde season. So if you put out a lot of bad attitude, a lot of hate, a lot of deception, finessing, manipulation, whatever you want to call it, then you can expect to get those things back, especially during retrograde season. But if you put out good karma, this is going to be a good time for you to reap the benefits of just putting out all that good behavior and putting out all that love, because harmony, warmth in a cold world, and opportunities for growth and happiness are all positively aspected under this Venus conjunction with Jupiter. Finding love and just the opportunity just to be a nicer and happier person. The new moon is also going to be aligning with a fixed star, which is the inside of the constellation of Aquarius, called the Star of Mighty Destiny. So not only do you have the planet of luck, looking at the planet of love and beauty, is also going to, the new moon, our fresh star, is also going to be looking at the star of mighty destiny, or the star also called luckiest of the lucky. So you have all these things supporting a good time for you to manifest all the things that you wanted, the wealth, the love that you want, you know. And this is not just me telling you this to make you feel good, because anytime is a good time to practice manifestation. But I personally do believe that the alignment of the planets and all that things plays a part in the energy that is put out there, because you're putting things out into the universe and expecting to receive them back. But if things are all crossed up, if wires are all crossed, if there are things going on in the human collective that's not going to support whatever your endeavor is, then it's not going to happen how you want it to happen. And even now, there's another aspect I want to talk to you about, because even though I'm telling you all this about, yay, it's your time to manifest love and money, you also need to understand that this is also a time of difficult changes, because Saturn is going to be squaring off with Uranus, and that's not going to climax until February 17th. But I'm just giving you the heads up, because this Venus and Jupiter conjunction, and also the Mars and Sextile Neptune, is going to create this energy of just love, and everything feels good and everything feels great. So I don't want to pick you up just to drop you on your head next week to let you know that difficult changes are going to come. It's going to be unexpected changes, uncomfortable changes, but it's only just for you to change your way of thinking. And I'm going to get into that, because I have a few things that you can do while you're manifesting what you need to do in order to properly manifest, because you need to, you know, have some focus. There's so much information out there. So I'm going to give you a few key things to focus on during this new moon, after I talk to you about the aspects of the planets. So I just told you the new moon will be aligning with the luckiest of the lucky star. This is the name that was given to it by, you know, ancient astrologers, because that is what it felt like at that time, and where it sits at, and things that happen in history. That's what astrology is based on. Is based on things that happen during human history under certain aspects of planets and, you know, signs and constellations. So this Mars sextile Neptune is going to increase your charisma. You're going to have a magnetic allure, strong sexual urges, and spiritual influence. And all of those are just a formula for you to attract your soulmate. So while we're looking at these aspects and these things that's going on, look at all this supportive energy from the universe for you to attract your soulmate, for you to start that business, for you to win the lottery, or whatever you've been putting your focus into, whatever you've been putting your money into, whatever you've been putting your time into, whatever it is that you've been trying to grow and manifest. The universe is going to support that, even with this ominous Saturn squaring off with Uranus, creating difficult changes. Sometimes difficult changes is what you need to change your perspective, so it's all going to work together for you. So I do have a few messages for the zodiac signs, but before I get into the messages I have for the zodiac signs about this new moon, let me give you a few key things that's going to help you manifest under this new moon. The first thing is that you need to visualize, not just write down, not just say, literally visualize your ideal future. Let's be realistic. You can visualize yourself walking around in a $25 million mansion with all of these businesses and all these connections and all private plane and all of those type of things. If that's the future that you visualize, then stick to that. But is your 5-year plan going to add up to that? Is the 5-year plan that you're going to map out, that we're going to talk about, because we need to be manifesting, but we have to start with those small goals first. We have to start making sure that the small things are coming into alignment first before we try aligning all these extravagant and big lifestyles. And, you know, we still haven't mastered the art of balancing our home and our family life with what we have now. So visualize your ideal future. Visualize your ideal future. I don't care how ridiculous it looks. I didn't tell you that to discourage you from, daydreaming about $25 million mansions. I do it all the time. I just want you to make sure that whatever your 5-year plan is that you're setting goals, that you're not getting so stuck on having that $25 million mansion that you're not paying your $25 rent. That's what I'm saying. Get focused on what you want to accomplish throughout the next chapter of your life. Start breaking your life down into chapters. Start breaking it down and going by these lunar cycles, or, you know, going by different calendars and stuff like that. You don't have to just stick to what the regular calendar is. Break your life down into cycles that you can manage, even if it's through the full moon and the new moon. You know, it's 2 weeks from one, 2 weeks to another. Start breaking your goals down like that. At the new moon, you should be setting your intentions. At the full moon, you should be ready to reap a harvest. So that's telling you that you need to start setting short-term goals that you can accomplish within 2 weeks. So every time the full moon comes around, when you set your intentions at the new moon, every time the full moon comes around, you have something to celebrate because you accomplished a goal. And eventually those small goals will lead into you accomplishing much larger goals to get you to whatever it is that you visualize your future to look like. The third thing, this is a great time to get creative. We have a stellium of planets inside of the constellation Aquarius. And Aquarius is just the sign of all things different, all things alien, all things weird, all things information, all things, you know, robotic and technology and information and all those type of things. So this is a great time for you to get creative. If you have not made a vision board yet, it's time for you to make your vision board. What are you using to visualize and hold yourself accountable to your goals that you are setting? Your manifestation list of things that you want to manifest that you can start knocking down. I say use a snowball effect. Put the smallest, most attainable thing that you can manifest at the top, the largest thing that you want to manifest at the bottom, and just start knocking them off the list. And your 5-year plan, like I was talking about. Will these things all fit into your 5-year plan of how you want your life to look in 5 years? 5 years is not as long as you think it is. Okay? 5 years ago, I was 21. 5 years ago, I wasn't really 21, but it felt like it. It feel like But your 5-year plans must coincide with, you know, with your goal set and making sure that you setting goals that you can accomplish, because that is also going to build your self-confidence. When you keep setting unrealistic goals and not hitting them, you are not doing anything but sabotaging yourself. You are betraying, you are like setting unrealistic goals for yourself. So you really just hurting yourself. So start setting small goals and knocking those off and watch how they grow into larger goals. This is the time to let go of what do you feel is normal and get out of the comparison trap and follow your heart. I call, you know, comparing your walk and your life to others, it's a trap. It is a trap to get you stuck in a cycle that does not belong to you. And you know how you get stuck? Because it's not your life that you're trying to imitate. That's why you get stuck, because it's not meant for you to move right there. So what did you do? You fell into the trap of comparison. Oh, they do this, so I'm going to do this. They doing that and it's working for them, so I'm going to do that. No, you supposed to be doing what's working for you. They doing what's working for them, and that's why it's working. But guess what's going to happen when you start trying to do what they do the way that they do it that's meant for them? It's gonna stop working and you're going to get stuck. So let go of what's normal, because popular people don't create what's normal. They just create what's fucking popular. It's just what's trending. That doesn't mean normal. That doesn't mean it's going to work for you. You might have an idea that somebody else might feel like it's boring because it's not popular, but then you come to find out that you actually have a niche market that somebody is actually going to use, and something that somebody actually wants or needs in their life. I never in a million years that people thought that people would be asking me and requesting for me to do astrology. This is just always something I like to do. I've always been into, you know, mysticism and mythology and stories, ancient stories and stuff like that, because that is what our human collective is based on. It's based on human behavior, and the stories really don't change over time, just the characters in them do. So that's how I feel about astrology. But I never thought anybody would request that, but because this is something that I like, and it's something that I'm good at, it's something that I like to do, and nobody can do it the way that I can do it, it builds my self-confidence. Forget how anybody else feels about it. Forget what people say is normal. You know what I'm saying? Is it normal? Is it normal? Is it normal? Have you asked yourself, is it normal? But to you, what's normal to you may not be normal to somebody else. So do not fall into a comparison trap of, oh, they're doing it like this and it's working for them, so I'm going to do it the same exact way, because 9 times out of 10 it's not going to work for you, because guess what? What's for you is for you. So let go of, this is the time to let go of all of that. Aquarius season is the time to let go of all of what you think is normal, because things are going to come to you in a way that is not normal. So you should be ready to accept it if you want to get to your next step in your life. And last but not least, the thing that I want to talk to you about is your intentions that you set for love and money. Be very specific about your intentions that you are setting for love and money, because this is the time where you can find your soulmate, or you can end up with another toxic karmic partner. And you do not want that. You don't want to be in another situation where you're trying to figure out how you got in this cycle, what lesson you need to learn, and the struggle that you have to go through to get out of the cycle. So be very specific about your intentions for love and money. Be love, be money. You know what I'm saying? Work. Get your hands dirty. Get your hands on something. Get your hands on some type of art, some type of craft, some type of trade, some type of skill. Be money. Be love. Give out, give out smiles. I mean, it's Corona time, so you can't be giving out hugs if you're a hugger. But, you can't be giving out kisses and loves. You know what I'm saying? But little acts of kindness, little acts of love, and you know what I'm saying? Maybe passing out little cards or whatever it is that you do. Give out little candies or what little kids you see on the street. Just something. Random acts of love and kindness to be loved. Getting your hands on a skill or a trade or some type of way for you to make money, being money. That's how you're going to really attract love and attract money. And then when you're setting your intentions of this new moon, you be very specific about what you write out, about what you want. And make sure that you examine yourself first. Examine your intentions first before you set your intentions. Examine your intentions for setting your intentions before you get ready and set your intentions. So now we are going to get into the little notes that I have for the Zodiac, and our little video will be finished. For our Zodiac, we always start with Aries, and my little note for you Aries is that you got the keys. You got the keys. So big energy commitment, but it's going to pay off. You're going to be able to eat off of it for a long time. So that thing that you're thinking about, whether you should do it, whether you should not, that big move that you're trying to make, that hole that you're trying to dig, that you're trying to turn into something much bigger, that you're trying to turn into a pearly gate, go for it. It might be a big energy commitment, but you're going to be able to eat off of it for a long time. Taurus, just because you can doesn't mean you have to, okay? Sometimes it's okay to just meditate on the fact that you can do so many things. We always look at Taurus like it's just single-minded and bullheaded and, just got a one-track mind, only focus on one thing. But that's not true. That is not true. Tauruses have the ability to be multifaceted people, like all people. They just always aren't. They just choose what they like and they do what they like. But for the ones who are multifaceted, just because you can doesn't mean that you have to. Just meditate and relish in the fact that you are able to, but save some of your energy for other things. Gemini, letting go also means moving on. So to give you a visual of that, it's like, okay, you put a message in a bottle and you watch it float out to sea, but you sit there and you watch it float out to sea and you watch it float out to sea, and you're wasting time instead of turning around, letting go and going about your way and allowing the message in the bottle to do what it do. You are still there watching it and trying to hold on to it vicariously through thoughts, through emotion, through process. Let it go. If you let it go, then you have to let everything that came with it go too, in order to move on and move forward, because this is a forward thinking time. We all about progression in the age of Aquarius. Leo, it's never too late to begin the replenish process. After being drained by people, after being drained by situations, and however long it's been since whatever situation that drained you and made you the person that you are at this point, that you feel like something is missing, like something you need, like an energy boost or something like that, whatever situation that is, it's never too late to begin the replenish process and think about your accomplishments, and you'll know exactly where to put your energy at. You losing track of where you want to put your energy at. So if you think about what you already accomplished, it'll let you know where to put your energy at, because you're going to want to put it into your stress, because you're a Leo, duh. Cancer, No more self-sabotage through emotional behaviors, aka no more eating because you're in your feelings. No more, I don't want to say drug abuse because just anything that you're doing to, self-soothe that might really be self-sabotaging you. Well, you might be using it as a way to soothe, but really you need to be practicing some discipline and some self-control to really get over whatever it is that has you deep in your feelings and that's making you respond in such a way that's only harmful to yourself, because cancers are like self-sacrificing people. So, when they're hurt, they do things to themselves that'll hurt themselves before they'll even hurt the person that hurt them. So, but you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're hurting yourself. It's self-betrayal. We don't want to betray ourselves. We don't want to sabotage ourselves. We want to walk in self-love and self-appreciation and self-worth. So we want to put away any bad habits that we might pick up during, maybe you chain smoke when you're stressed out. Maybe you overeat when you're emotionally, when you're emotionally in pain. Maybe you oversleep, or maybe you sleep too much when you're feeling depressed. You know what I'm saying? Any of those habits that are more hurtful to you than helpful to you, so you can deal with those real emotional processes. Can have no more self-sabotage through emotional behaviors. Virgo, this is a good week to give yourself the validation you seek. I'm going to read that again. This is a good week for you to give yourself the validation that you seek. Pat your own self on the back, Virgo. They may not recognize, everybody's not going to recognize you for the great, the great thinker, the idealist, and the grounded person that you are. But you recognize you see you, and pat yourself on the back. And, when you get ready to set your intentions this week, don't just stick to a situation in hopes of someone quitting or taking over first. It might cost you even more. So Virgo, if you are sticking to a situation and hoping that the person will just give up or somebody else will take it over and you don't have to deal with it, you might cost yourself more in the long run. So if it's in your best interest is to go ahead and you be the one to bow out gracefully, then go ahead and do that. If you need to be the one to take over, then you need to go ahead and do that, Virgo. Next, Libra, and it's real simple for you this week, Libra, a physical release. So a physical release means maybe, working out or taking a walk or, sex because you're grown. That's a physical release too. Trying maybe something different, yoga, trying a new, something physical. Get your body going. You know what I'm saying, Libra? You tighten it up a little bit. Time to get loose a little bit in your body and get a physical release so you can really get in touch with what you're trying to get in touch with inside your soul. Scorpio, it is self-evaluation time. It's time for you to ask some questions. No more nursing old wounds, Scorpio. It's time for you to be present to what's in front of you right now. So these are some questions that you need to ask yourself, Scorpio. What isn't working? What do you want for yourself? What pleasures are available to you now? And what can you do about it? So, you got some questions, you got some homework, Scorpio. Time to self-evaluate. Sagittarius, pace yourself. Sagittarius, I talked about this, I believe, in my last video, that for Mercury retrograde, you're actually in the Sagittarius, actually in the 3rd house, which is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication. So you can expect all the things that go wrong with retrograde to be going wrong with you. So you're going to have to pace yourself because the universe is hell-bent on burying you in deadlines and commitments. You cannot be prepared for everything. I know how hard you want to try, Sagittarius, but you can't. So even though you have horse, the human side of you can still ask for help. Stop blaming yourself if you get a little bit behind, because we're all prone to it. Stop pretending that you can handle more than you really can. So just because people are asking you to work that horse side doesn't mean that your human side doesn't get tired or a little overwhelmed. So it's okay to turn down some projects and work. Quit trying to make it seem like you can handle more than you really can, and really evaluate the stuff that you got on your plate and, throw some of that shit in the trash. Capricorn, less stressors, less stress. Simple, 2 + 2. If there's a way for you to offload some things, do it. because we know Capricorn is the sign of overdoing it, being extra, doing it big, you know, especially on the material side, the working side, the the material possession side. So, overdoing it is what Capricorns do. But that's okay. But just know, less stressors, less stress, okay? Aquarius, it is your season. Shadows of solitude through COVID, showing you your true self. You are ready to rewrite your story. It is the perfect time. Why not? Why would Aquarius not take this time to rewrite their story when they got the moon, the new moon, the sun, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn, and Pallas all hanging out in Aquarius right now? This is the perfect time for you to write your story. You have the planet of luck and expansion. You have the planet of creativity, beauty, and art. You have the planet of communication also in retrograde in your sign. You have the sun because it is your season. It is your solar return. And you have the new moon, where we make and set our intentions and get our fresh started. And you have Pallas, which is a little asteroid that gives us that helps us strategize, that gives us that extra push, that left side of your brain. You have all of this universal support for you to rewrite your story, Aquarius. So take the time and do it. Pisces, you want to get close to the magic. Well, do what you got to do. Whatever you got to do to reconnect, whatever you got to do to get in tune, whatever you got to do to get in touch, Pisces, this is your time to do it. Whether, well, I'm not going to encourage that, but whatever it is that you need to do to get connected to the other side, to get to the other realms that you're missing so much, go ahead and do it, Pisces, because the universe is supporting you to do so. So this concludes my Ratchet Astrology forecast for this new moon that we are going to February 11th. I hope everybody is ready to set the intentions. I hope everybody is ready to see their goals and stuff manifested on the new moon. Let's start doing that. You know what I'm saying? Let's start really setting our intentions on the new moon, setting, reachable goals, just so we can see them manifested on the full moon, which will be on the 27th. You know what I'm saying? So we can really start building ourselves up, building on ourselves. So I thank you so much for tuning into this video, and make sure that you follow me on my social media platforms, and I will see you guys next week.